Hello and welcome to United with Alvin. You can always unite with me by liking, subscribing, and commenting in the comment section below. Now let's get to the vibes. Before I get to Ruben and Amorim, let's talk about something positive for Manchester United. For once, the negativity is just too much. The United have signed is it Orozco from Colombia and has finally, all documents has finally been sealed, despite competition from the French league and other clubs. He will be flying to Manchester United, and he's a gem of a midfielder that United really, really wanted to have, and they finally gotten a player of astute caliber of a young gem in Orozco. He's, being compared to Casado, who we, ignored and went to Brighton, and later on became one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and he was finally left to Chelsea. United have to go in for these young players because mostly we sign you know, experience or whoever plays 70 million pounds and above, and it comes to Manchester United and the shirt is too heavy on them. If you're able to cultivate these players, train them in the youth academy, and embedded the culture in them, when they come to the senior side, they will help us save a lot of millions, and also, help us in the PCR in that aspect. And also, let's talk about Kobe Mino. And there have been report that Kobe Mino is doing extremely well in terms of training, in terms of preparation, in terms of his determination, in terms of his willingness to get to the starting lineup. And this is what we want to hear. This is what we want to see. This is what we crave about. This is what every young player at Manchester United should try to achieve. Instead of putting a blame game for somebody, if you work it enough, not every coach will come in and instantly like you. Sometimes you have to fight very hard for the position. And hearing good news that Kobe Mano is essentially doing exactly what every United fan hope that a young prodigy and a young academy will be doing, I think it's music to our ears. It's music to our ears. Now to Ruben Amorim and the conundrums and the negative media. Postcoast recently said that Ruben Amorim looked lonely at the touchline. Looked lonely at the touchline, and this is being attributed to the fact that he doesn't have any experienced member in the staff who can instantly come in and give him an advice to change or have a tactical nose to really change the outcome of the game. That he doesn't have any experienced man in his staff, coach in his staff, to really tilt or tweak to advise. And it's like he's always lost when his tactics are not going as planned, especially when United are down to a goal. Because United, during Ferguson era, Ferguson used to have experienced players. I say experienced coaches that helps, and even that he had experienced players on the field also, with the likes of Joaquin, with the likes of David Beckham, with the likes of Van Giggs, the likes of Paul Scholes himself, the Roy Ferdinand, even Vigic, who can galvanize these players when things are not going as planned. And Michael Carrick, them who are tactically, astute with Van Giggs, who even if things are not going on well, they can come in, gather these players and bring out a positive attitude. United, this current United, we lack leaders, and our coach also have the experience required. Said post schools that is looking at it and at the touchline, and looks like I have to agree with it. Not just because we are losing, but if you look at when Pep Guardiola first came to the Premier League, he straight away went to Mikel Arteta because he couldn't understand the second ball situation, and Arteta explaining to him the physicality and the need to win the second ball, and he eventually helped him to build the dynasty he has done at Manchester City, even though he had a couple of struggles. And that is what Paul Scholes was alluding to. Roy Rooney also in his podcast mentioned that he doesn't recognize Manchester United anymore, and this has This is down to not just the coach, but the entirety of the organization as a whole. And he was you know pointing to Ineos to really step up to either able to change the corners and United become elite again or go down as the next Glazers 2.0 that came to Manchester United and they didn't really know what they were doing. It's you know it's difficult to recognize Manchester United nowadays if you've been a Manchester United fan through and through. I personally been a United fan since '98, and you know I've seen a lot of glory days. I've seen a lot of good moments. I've seen a lot of characteristics. I've seen a lot of identity. United used to be the leading brand in England and practically the whole world. If apart from Real Madrid, in terms of branding, in terms of organization, in terms of everything, it was United going two and two to Real Madrid. Except United were except Real Madrid was always winning the Champions League. And United, we kept falling short. But in terms of organization, in terms of the brand, in terms of the field of play, it, we can identify ourselves in every aspect of the sport, commercials, everything. United are just falling far from where we are, and it's difficult. It's difficult. So we can't just sit down and just pinpoint everything of Ruben Amorim. And it's also alluding that it was Omar Beretta, JC Wilkes that sat down and chose Ruben Amorim. So if they had it wrong, it means Ineos had it wrong. Will he be back? We've seen it. We don't know whether he'll be in the realm for the next 2 or 3 months. But for now, he's there. For now, he's there, and he also made how they call it. Ruben Amorim had an interview with Owen Hargreaves, and he made mention of changing the system. And he also went on to say that he's trying to build a team the way he sees them fit to how we want to play and how he sees football. And if he's saying changing the system, it might not entirely be him changing the back three as a whole. But we've been calling for him to tweak the style of play, tweak a little bit of system, because we are too open at the midfield. And it's easy for teams to play through the midfield. Because Oliver Glasner plays similar style at Crystal Palace. Tuchel plays similar style and won the Champions League. Conte plays similar style and dominated the Premier League and won the Premier League with Chelsea. So it might not necessarily be the set of formation that he's playing three at the back, but mainly also how he's implementing it. Because when you look at Crystal Palace playing with a 3-4-3, they hardly move around the midfield. They are always compact in the midfield, especially with the front three. They don't go wide chasing. They compact the midfield, forcing their opponent to move out wide, and they squeeze them. And anytime the opponent move wide up, it's the wing backs that steps in to close the gap or the spaces that left by to still compact the midfield and then force the opponent to move to lose the ball. United, on the other hand, our midfield are wide open. Our front three don't necessarily close the midfield. They are the one who initiate the press. And when they are bypassed with the press, the midfield look vague. It look vacant. And teams are able to manipulate it and do whatever they want and intend, dominate us in the midfield. So if he's willing to compact the team in order to make it difficult for teams to play through the midfield, is also very important. We can still get through, but it's a winning formation. I kid you not. I'm not against United playing through back at all. It's a winning formation. Alonso played that three back at Leverkusen and went a whole season unbeaten, and the Bundesliga and won it. It's a winning formation. It's how we are able to implement it. That is the question. That is the question. He has to find a way to implement it to suit the Premier League and how, because the Premier League is very physical. We have to be combative. When Eric Ten Hag was at Manchester United, his main problem was that the midfield was always easily bypassed, and Ruben Amorim is facing the same, style. we might argue that he has to get a midfielder who is energetic, but we also have to find a way to close it. We can't just be, pressing for the sake of pressing sake and we bypass easily. That is the question because anytime we press, we are being bypassed easily. We are not good with the press. So we can be, mid block and be very compact to make it difficult for teams to bypass you. And when we win the ball, we are able to move around a little bit. The other caveat also is that we don't have a progress. Casemiro is not good with the ball, especially not good with the pressure. So we have to find a way to make these players play to a way that it will accommodate them. I'm not against the three back. I'm just looking at him to that tweak it a little bit to be convenient for Manchester United because we create chances, no doubt, but they easy play through us. He has to find a way to be combative enough to be able to hold the midfield so that it will not be easy for us to be played against. Please continue to like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below. And help my channel grow. Help my channel grow.